Episode 56 SQ, April 3, 2024. Urge Congress to oppose Smoggy Skies Act, which tries to erase lower 9 p.m. 2.5 limit. In Episode 56 SQ 1A, April 3, 2024 email from the American Lung Association. 1A1, Enviva bankruptcy. 1B, Vermont, Morrisville. Vermont farm families outdated wood boiler fuels heated legal battle.
1C, Canada, Newfoundland.
Renovating a second home in Newfoundland without road access. The New York Times, it had even been the subject of news stories focused on worries that the houses might be torn down. Image the living room, with a black wood burning. 1D, United Kingdom, Scotland. New homes ban direct emission heating systems in Scotland. Scottish Housing News. It doesn't make a credible policy to ban wood burners under emissions, but to then allow hydrogen boilers which do emit emissions. Rosep view. Use heat pumps with no emissions instead of natural gas furnaces, and of course use heat pumps instead of wood burning for home heating. Rosep believes the author is referring to CO2 emissions alone. Yes, hydrogen burning emits some CO2. But wood burning emits 450 times the PM2.5 as when burning fossil fuels such as hydrogen. Wood burning emits 90% PM2.5, particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. PM2.5 also hastens climate change.
1E, Denmark, Copenhagen.
Municipalities hesitate with unpopular ban on wood-burning stoves. The Copenhagen Post, despite decades of evidence for the carcinogenic effects of using wood-burning stoves, they remain the only non-taxable form of energy in the 1F, Japan. Evil does not exist. Powerful Japanese eco-drama about one community's fight against the conversation. Think teepees with proper beds, wood-burning stoves, toilets, and more. This might seem innocuous. The company name Playmode certainly is trying to. 1G, Africa, Ghana. Scientists design fish smoking oven technology that pollutes less. Ghana news agency Dr. Adder, who is also a co-project lead, said women spent a minimum of 6 hours every day engulfed by the smoke emanating from their basic wood-fired. Scientists design fish smoking oven technology that pollutes less. Ghana news agency burning, dizziness, and irritation of the eye during operation. Already wood-fired mud ovens. The dimension of the combustion chamber and the 2. World. Wildfires in our world and data. 3. World. Wood-burning market. 4. Alabama, mobile. 5. Alaska, Fairbanks. Large differences detected in air pollution among Fairbanks neighborhoods. Fairbanks Daily Newsminer. Site lets us note the hazy air layers that can develop over town, and even let us see plumes of wood burning or vehicle exhaust that just seem to sit. 6. Arizona, Maricopa County. 7. California, Los Angeles, Lomita apartment fire. 8. Florida, Tallahassee. 9. Illinois, Danville. Danville Fire Department responds to third house fire Thursday evening. Yahoo! No one was reported to be hurt, and an estimate on damage cost was unavailable. Wood-burning stove sets Decatur home ablaze. Earlier in the day. 10. Iowa, Fort Dodge. Attic fire ravages Fort Dodge home. Fort Dodge firefighters work at the scene of a house fire at 1441 17th Street Southwest Sunday afternoon. The cause of the fire was traced to a wood-burning stove. When firefighters arrived, smoke and flames were coming from the attic and roof of the house. 11. Michigan, Menominee County. Police log news. The tree ended up burning off of the line, and the remaining fire was put out. The fire was thought to have started from an outdoor wood burner. 12. New York, New York City. Compare Italians in Pa Valley facing PM 2.5 pollution and Italians in New York City facing PM 2.5 pollution from pizza store wood burning. 13. New York. Brush burning leads to fires in Thompson, Deer Park. The River Reporter officers Christopher Dorsky, Glenn Parker, Ricky Wood, and Michael Buckley issued tickets to multiple New Yorkers for illegally burning brush. 14. Oregon, Klamath Falls. 15. Pennsylvania, Lancaster. Officials. No injuries following fire at Manheim Township High School, WGL, according to the Manheim Township Deputy Fire Chief. The fire started in the wood shop, when smoke from the sawdust collection system outside spilled. 16. Texas. Unmasking the sky. High-resolution PM 2.5 prediction in Texas using machine learning techniques. Nature. Although PM 2.5, fine particulate matter with an aerodynamic diameter less than 2.5 m, is an air pollutant of great concern in Texas. 17. Texas. Richmond. Richmond wood debris pile fire 75% contained as cruise battle for third day. Official says ABC. 13. Richmond, Texas. KTRK. Crews from 14 different agencies have 75% containment on a fire burning a Richmond mulching site Monday evening. 18. Washington, Kennewick. 19. Canada, British Columbia. PM 2.5 and ethylometer model. Source apportionment of black carbon using an advanced ethylometer model in a typical ScienceDirect.com. Although PM 2.5 pollution in ZIBO has decreased in recent years, there is a lack of studies on BC concentration and source in PM 2.5. 20. Canada, Ontario. Forest fire season begins in Ontario. 21. Australia, Kinglake residents are concerned about planned burns. 22. United Kingdom, Hull. Arson investigation after large amount of wood and rubbish involved in fire. 23. Finland and Thailand. 24. India. 25. Thailand. 26. PM 2.5 and human health. Alzheimer's disease, autism, cattle, cloudwater, COVID-19, gout, influenza, shortened lifespan, unhappiness, and prenatal health risks. 2 different studies. 1A, April 3, 2024 email from the American Lung Association. Take action at a.lung.org. Hello residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Congress is considering a bill that would permanently weaken the Clean Air Act. We need your help to oppose it. Under the Clean Air Act, air pollution standards are based on health science. This misguided bill will permanently threaten the role of health as the basis for the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, setting air pollution limits. The bill would even weaken the new, stronger limits on particulate matter pollution that EPA just finalized, despite the fact that nearly 80% of voters across party lines support stricter standards for particle pollution. Tell your members of Congress to oppose the Smoggy Skies Act. Thank you. The American Lung Association. ROSEP's editor also would like you to mention the harmful levels of PM 2.5 in the yards and infiltration, the homes of near neighbors from indoor residential wood burning in your appeal to your senator and congressperson. In February 2024, a new 9 microgram per cubic meter annual safe limit for PM 2.5 was set by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. This Smoggy Skies bill is aimed at erasing this new safe PM 2.5 limit. Arizona. Legislation to overturn EPA new lower annual PM 2.5 safe limit of 9 micrograms per cubic meter. Beware, Arizona. 2024 election mischief is already afoot. AZ Central they claim that EPA's proposal to lower standards for microscopic particulate matter, known as PM 2.5. 1A1, United States and European Union. Enviva wood pellet plant bankruptcy. Enviva bankruptcy fallout ripples through biomass industry, US and EU. Mungabe imported wood pellets waiting to be burned at Drax, a former coal-burning wood-burning facilities, and which is also an expanding wood pellets. 1A1, ROSEP view. A key statement in this article about Enviva's bankruptcy is that a host of scientific studies offer convincing evidence that burning forest biomass is not a climate solution and produces rather than reduces heat-trapping greenhouse gas emissions. Like all wood burning, biomass burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Wood burning emits 2.8 times the CO2 and PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning. ROSEP is a forest, living tree, advocate, an environmentalist organization, not working for the Forest Services, also known as forestry, industry which sells wood pellets to the biomass industry. ROSEP is foremost an advocate for the near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners, whose wood smoke enters the near neighbors' yards and sickens the near neighbors. Meanwhile, in yet another financial blow to Enviva, the company appears to have lost one of its biggest customers in Europe, RWE. The Germany-based energy company has long been an Enviva trading partner, importing some 2.5 million tons of pellets annually primarily underwritten by billions in subsidies from the Netherlands to be burned in Dutch facilities. Because of unfulfilled contracts and the declining value of pellets on the open market, RWE has canceled its long-term agreements with Enviva and is demanding damages of more than $370 million. Enviva is reportedly refusing to pay. Drax is a major buyer of Enviva pellets for its energy plant in North Yorkshire, England. While Drax isn't commenting, the company is organizing a U.S. headquarters in Texas. Forest advocates believe it, like Enviva, will seek U.S. tax support to underwrite its Deep South expansion. Enviva bankruptcy fallout ripples through biomass industry, U.S. and EU. April 2, 2024 excerpts edited by ROSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. In March, Enviva, the world's largest woody biomass producer for industrial energy, declared bankruptcy. Enviva and the forestry industry appear now to be lobbying the Biden administration, hoping to tap into millions in renewable energy credits under the Inflation Reduction Act, a move environmentalists are resisting. In March, federal officials made a fact-finding trip to an Enviva facility and local communities who say the firm is a major polluter. Meanwhile, some EU nations are scrambling to find new sources of wood pellets to meet their sustainable energy pledges under the Paris Agreement. The UK's Drax, an Enviva pellet user, and also a major pellet producer, is positioning itself to greatly increase its pellet production in the US South and maybe benefit from IRA subsidies. The bankruptcy filing in March by Maryland-based Enviva, the world's largest maker of wood pellets from forest biomass, is rattling a European Union that relies heavily on biomass as a significant though contested renewable energy source. The bankruptcy is also invigorating U.S. forest advocates determined to keep the Biden administration from using new renewable energy credits to bail out the flailing company. On March 21st, officials from 5 federal agencies visited North and South Carolina to see an Enviva pellet-making plant firsthand and hear environmental justice complaints over the impacts it is having on low-income communities. The company faces immediate threats to its ongoing viability that transcend its $2.6 billion debt and negative community impacts, according to a former maintenance manager at 2 Enviva pellet-making plants in North Carolina and Virginia between 2020 and 2022. As many as 8 of Enviva's 10 pellet mills in the U.S. Southeast, he said, are producing fewer pellets monthly at a much higher cost due to maintenance issues. There's no way Enviva is coming out of Chapter 11, the former employee said. In its March 13th bankruptcy filing, the company said it shipped 5 million metric tons of pellets overseas in 2023. That's down from 6.2 million metric tons shipped in 2022, a 19.3% decrease at a time when demand for wood pellets in Europe and Asia was increasing. Also, in its last quarterly filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission in November, Enviva wrote that $21.1 million of its $85.2 million in third-quarter losses, or 25%, was attributed to asset impairments, damaged equipment, and machinery. Enviva's collapse has been fast and profound. In April 2022, the public company's share price peaked at $87 a share. It is now trading at under 50 cents a share, and the company is valued at just $34 million. A class action investor lawsuit against Enviva is advancing in Maryland District Court. Forest advocates are feeling vindicated. Years of polluting communities has finally caught up to Enviva, said Dana Smith, executive director of Dogwood Alliance, a North Carolina-based NGO. Millions of taxpayer dollars have been wasted. Our government must not give one more dime to this failing, dirty industry. But that potential exists. Under President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, IRA, billions in tax credits and subsidies are available to producers of clean energy, like wind and solar energy companies. Millions are also available for forest industry innovations. Wood pellets enjoy that renewable energy designation in the EU and United Kingdom, which provide billions in subsidies for pellets which are claimed to produce zero carbon emissions. However, a host of scientific studies offer evidence that burning forest biomass is not a climate solution and produces rather than reduces heat-trapping greenhouse gas emissions. Studies show that wood pellets actually emit more carbon dioxide per unit of energy than burning coal. According to environmental groups, Enviva is seeking subsidies under the IRA from the Department of Energy and Treasury Department to help pay for its new plant in Alabama and restart construction in Mississippi. U.S. Representative Alma Adams, a North Carolina Democrat, does not want to see that happen. A North Carolina Democrat, she was one of 6 members of Congress who wrote to the